Okay, let's get into your reading, Leo. Okay, are you ready? Because there is a person that is going to come into your life very quick, very fast, and you are going to be just flabbergasted. You'll be like, wait, what? Really? Right now? Are you sure? I have manifested that this reading only finds those that it is meant for at this time. So if you are here, I really don't believe that it's a coincidence. I believe that you are here because you are lucky. This message is for you, and it is divine timing. Okay, I want you to claim this energy. Comment down below. It is divine timing. Comment that down below. Seal in the energy. Invite this energy into your life. Okay, I need you to claim it. Remember, everything is energy. In order to be able to receive, we must be willing to give. So give a comment, like the reading, and do subscribe to seal in the intention of this. Because I am telling you, there is a person coming towards you that you will like, that you will respect, that you will find so attractive in their mind, in their thinking, in how they present themselves, in how they talk, in how they come, across. You will feel connected to them. You will feel drawn to them. You will feel excited by them and what they have to offer and what they say and what they do and how they are. You will feel genuinely so excited and just really fulfilled. Really fulfilled. And I want to sit with that word unexpected for a second, okay? Because it's the whole heart of this message. You are not out there searching for this right now. A lot of you have actually stopped looking, and some of you made peace with the idea that maybe this part of your life was just quiet now, and that is exactly why it lands the way it does, okay? The good ones almost never arrive when you're braced for them. They arrive in the middle of an ordinary week when you'd finally stopped bracing at all. The Six of Wands. The Six of Wands here shows a person coming in with serious intent, someone that wants to be with you, someone that wants to progress things with you. And for some of you, you might have someone on your mind where you're like, you know what? I have a person on my mind. And if you really like that person on your mind, it is this person. Because one thing I am seeing here is that this will be a person that you like. Okay? So if you are really like, oh, I don't want that other person. I don't want this person. I just want this. You will get this. You will get that you really want. Okay? I'm telling you, it's almost like your true deepest desire will manifest. And the Six of Wands shows a rider on a white horse, okay? A laurel wreath on their head and a laurel tied to their staff. A crowd walking alongside them. This is the victory card. The card of someone arriving already crowned. Someone who has decided and is on their way. And that's the energy of this person, okay? They're not coming toward you unsure. They're coming toward you having already made up their mind about you. And I want you to notice how different that is from what you might be used to. Okay, a lot of you have dealt with people who wanted you tentatively, who kept one foot out the door, who needed convincing at every stage. This is not that, okay? This is someone who shows up already sure, and I want to name why that changes everything, okay? Because certainty at the start is what prevents 90% of the pain later. The connections that hurt you before were usually ones where someone was ambivalent, where you spent your energy trying to convince a person to want what they only half wanted. And that's an exhausting way to begin anything, okay? Because you never get to relax into it. You're always slightly auditioning, always slightly proving your case. This person arrives with their mind made up, okay? Which means you get to skip all of that. You don't have to earn your place. You don't have to sell yourself. You just get to be there, already chosen from the very start. And trust me, not everyone will see this reading. Not everyone will come across this reading. And that's the whole point, is that it is meant for who it is meant for. okay? As much as I would love, this reading to be seen by 1 billion people, right? It's not meant for everyone. That's the whole point. It's only meant for a select amount of people. The Hermit. Hermit. It's on its way. Hermit shows that behind the scenes, everything is being prepared. Everything is starting to come together. The channels for how everything is supposed to come together is starting to come together. It's starting to progress. It's starting to get moving. It's starting to move in the right direction. It's all starting. It's all progressing. It's all going in that way. So beautiful to see. Wow. And I want to describe this card properly, okay? Because the Hermit stands alone on a mountain peak, holding a lantern up into the dark, a single star glowing inside it. And people see this card and think loneliness, and that has never been what it means. The Hermit is preparation, okay? It's the work that happens in private, out of sight, before anything becomes visible to anyone else. The lantern isn't there to light up a room. It's there to light one step at a time on a path that's already being walked. And that's what's happening right now, okay? Before you can see any of it, the timing, the circumstances, the way the two of you eventually cross paths, all of it is being arranged in the part of the story you don't get to watch yet. And I want to say something to the impatient part of you, okay? Because I know some of you are tired of hearing it's coming. You've been told it's coming before, and then nothing came. And it made you a little cynical about this exact kind of message. But the Hermit isn't a maybe card, okay? It's a card of something already in motion, simply not finished yet. And the difference between those two things is the difference between hope and preparation. This is preparation, and they're going to take action. They're going to take action. And on top of that, there is a high level of chemistry, okay? This is someone that you will feel physically very attracted to. You will like how they look. You will like how they treat you. You will like what they can do for you, because you would also do a lot for them, right? So it's really important to know what they also do for you in return. This is someone that is not lazy. They're very ambitious, and they will genuinely get up and do things for you. This is not someone who expects you to do everything, like communicating, like cooking for them, like giving them gifts. No. They do it for you, to you, and with you, which is so important. So important. And I want to stop on that phrase for a second, okay? For you, to you, and with you, because it's actually describing 3 different things, and most people only ever get one of them. For you is the effort, okay? The things they do to make your life easier. To you is the affection, the way they treat you directly. And with you is the partnership, the building of a life side by side. And having all 3 at once is rare, okay? Because plenty of people will do things for you while being cold to you, and plenty will be sweet to you while building nothing with you. This is all 3, and I want to name why you specifically respond to that, okay? Because you've probably been the one carrying all 3 for other people without getting any of them back. You did things for them. You were warm to them. You tried to build with them. And you kept ending up in situations where you were the only one doing it. And that does something to a person over time, okay? You start to assume that's just what love is, that it's supposed to be lopsided, that being the one who gives more is simply the role you got assigned. It isn't, okay? And this person is the proof. Because for the first time, the effort is going to be mutual, and mutual is going to feel almost strange to you at first, simply because you're not used to it. This is not someone that sort of abandons you. No one has time for that, okay? Really, no one has time for that. Trust me, I know that you don't have time for that either. This is not someone that's going to abandon you, because once they're locked in, they're locked in. Once they're committed, they're committed. And I want to name why that word abandon is landing so hard for some of you, okay? Because it's not a random word to hear. It's the specific fear you've been carrying. And the reading knows it. The Five of Wands. Now, I do believe that you've been hurt in the past before. We have got here the Five of Wands. You've been left out. You felt abandoned. And you've dealt with people who have abandonment issues, okay, and then they abandon you because they think you're going to abandon them when actually they abandon you because of their own thinking. And the Five of Wands shows 5 figures all raising their staves, okay? And if you look closely, none of the staves are actually landing on anyone. It looks like a brawl, but it's really just chaos. A lot of movement and noise with nobody actually connecting. And that's what those old situations were, okay? Not real fights about real things, just people swinging out of their own fear and you standing in the middle of it, wondering what you did wrong. You did nothing wrong, okay? You were caught in somebody else's panic and you mistook it for something about you. You have been hurt before. However, you have not let that define you. And I think that is your strongest, that's like the strongest thing, about you is that you don't let failure define you. It hurts and you think about it. And yes, you can cry over it, but you don't let it define you. Like that isn't who you are. And you know that. You know that. You know that what is all about you is the fact that you work really hard. You put a lot of effort into people. You try your best. You give a lot of time, energy, and effort. And you know that that is what defines you. Your character defines you in terms of how much you are willing to go, right? But what doesn't define you is how people treat you. And you're starting to realize that more and more and more. And I want to sit with that distinction, okay, because it's one of the most important things in this whole reading. How you treat people is who you are. How people treat you is who they are. Those are 2 separate ledgers. And for a long time, you've been reading someone else's behavior as if it were a verdict on your worth. It never was, okay? Someone treating you badly was always information about them. And never once information about you. And I want to stay here a moment longer, okay? Because this is the part of the reading I most want you to take with you. You have spent years collecting evidence about yourself from the behavior of people who weren't well. Someone left and you asked what was wrong with you. Someone went cold and you searched yourself for the reason. Someone couldn't love you properly and you quietly concluded it must be because you weren't quite enough. And none of that was ever true, okay? A person with abandonment wounds will leave the kindest, most loyal partner alive. Not because of anything that partner did, but because staying felt more frightening to them than leaving. So please stop holding their exits as your report card, okay? They were running from their own fear. And you simply happened to be standing there when they ran. And one thing here is that you don't want to get hurt again. It is one of your fears, but at the same time, you're starting to realize, and I've said this before, the bird and the branch analogy, you are starting to become like the bird and the branch. Remember, birds, okay, have wings. They are so confident in their ability to fly if a branch breaks. If they go and sit on a branch and that branch breaks, they're not going to go crying over the fact that that branch broke and they fell down. They will be like, you know what? I got wings. I'm going to fly to another branch. You are becoming like the bird, the branch. You are trusting in your ability to heal, to move forward, to feel good. And I want to add something to that analogy, okay? Because there's a deeper part of it. The bird doesn't trust the branch. The bird trusts its own wings. That's the whole thing. The security was never supposed to come from the branch holding, okay? It was always supposed to come from knowing that even if it didn't, you'd be fine. And that's the shift that's happened in you. You stopped needing the guarantee, okay? And the second you stopped needing it is the exact second you became ready for something that actually lasts. Do I believe that this person is going to break your heart? This next unexpected relationship? No. But you will get into this mindset of, if something does go wrong, I know that I can get through anything. If something does go wrong, I will be able to move forward. I will be okay. I can bounce back from this. But the funny thing is, once you get into that mindset, this person will not break your heart. It's just that I feel in the past, right? You've kind of poured everything into a person. Like your entire life, your universe revolves around this person, and then something happens, and then you feel like your entire world has crumbled. Well, now you go into this unexpected relationship very prepared that if anything happens, you got yourself, like the bird has its wings even if the branch breaks, but you won't need to use it. You won't need to exercise that situation. Why? Because this person actually stays in your life long term. However, because you are prepared and you've learned so much and you've healed and you've grown and you know how to get through those tough situations, what's funny is you won't have to exercise it. But anyways, the whole point of this is that it's a blessing, right? It's literally a blessing. And I want to sit with that, okay? Because there's something almost poetic in it. The healing you did was never wasted, even though you're not going to need it in the way you learned it. You built the strength for a storm that this particular relationship is never going to bring, but you get to keep the strength. Okay, it becomes something else now, not armor against this person, but a quiet steadiness inside you that makes the whole thing easier to enjoy. Imagine someone, right, is doing something and you have to be so prepared. Best situation, okay, best explanation I can give you is like, say for example, someone gets on an airplane and they don't pay attention to the safety demonstration. Let's say, unfortunately, okay, and tragically, that plane crashes and it's crash landed, but they don't know what to do, right? They're not prepared. So then the next time they get on an airplane, they're very, very prepared. They're like, okay, that's the emergency exit. That's the life vest. That's the oxygen mask where it comes down. But guess what? That plane never crashes the second time. It just never happens again in their life. But they are then prepared. This is what I'm trying to say, is that it's like you are so prepared now, right? For failure, for loss, that you won't ever have to exercise it, but you know it in the back of your mind, right? I don't know. It's just an example that I have to give you. You know, you've been through pain and now you're like, okay, well, I can get through anything now and I know how to heal and I know how to get through it. But the next relationship that you'll be in very unexpectedly, you just won't have to exercise any of that because you'll be with this person for life. And I think that's what also makes it quite unexpected, is that it's someone that you will be with for life and you won't have to like worry so much about in the grand scheme of things. And I want to name the specific relief in that, okay? Because it's a feeling a lot of you have never actually had in love. Most of your relationships have had a low hum of vigilance running underneath them. A part of you always half watching, always slightly ready for it to go wrong. And that vigilance is exhausting, okay? Even when nothing bad is happening. It's a tax you've been paying on every connection you've ever had. And this is the one where you finally get to put it down, okay? Not because you forced yourself to trust, but because there genuinely isn't anything to watch for. And I want to prepare you for how strange that's going to feel at first, okay? Because peace is disorienting to a nervous system that learned to survive on alertness. Some of you are going to be in a genuinely good, calm relationship and catch yourself waiting for the other shoe to drop, almost missing the chaos simply because it's what you knew. And that's not a sign something's wrong, okay? It's a sign something's finally right and your body just hasn't caught up to it yet. Give it time. Calm stops feeling like boredom and starts feeling like home. But it takes a while, and that's completely normal. And this is someone that is you and them. You're like a team. Teamwork makes the dream work. Like you will be a team with this person. Every relationship is about teamwork, even between a pet and its owner, even between countries. Like teamwork, is so important. That relation is so important. This person is someone that will ask for your opinion on everything. Like, oh, should we do this? How about this? What about this day? What about that day? Or, should we get this fixed? This is someone that really takes your opinion into consideration. And I want to name why that's a bigger deal than it sounds, okay? Because being asked for your opinion is one of the quietest forms of respect there is. It means they see you as someone whose judgment adds something, not as someone to be managed around. And a lot of you have been in the other kind of arrangement, okay? Where decisions got made and then announced to you, where your input was a formality and not an actual influence on anything. This is not that, okay? This is a person who genuinely wants to know what you think before the thing is decided, because they're not building their life and letting you visit it. They're building it with you. If you say something like, oh my God, look at that bird outside, they will take so much interest at looking at that because it matters to them that you found something that is worth pointing out, okay? Not them ignoring you. And I want to stay on that small example, okay? Because it's actually the most telling thing in the entire reading. The bird outside the window doesn't matter, not really. But you mattering enough that your delight becomes their interest, that matters enormously. Because that's the difference between being loved and being tolerated, okay? Tolerance ignores the bird. Love looks where you're pointing, not because of the bird, but because you're the one who pointed. And I want you to hold that as your standard now, okay? Because you've had less than that before and told yourself it was enough. Someone who looks where you point every time. That's the floor now, not the ceiling. And also 5 of Wands again, trying to just get through the past, and trying to just shift those feelings of failure in the past to realize that your past does not define you, okay? Your past does not define you. And I want to say that back to you one more time slowly, okay? Because it's the sentence the whole reading keeps circling. Your past does not define you. The people who left, the ones who swung out of their own fear, the version of love that felt like constant vigilance, none of that is a description of who you are or a prediction of what you get to have. It was a chapter, okay? And chapters end. Co-create. Wow, look at this. So we have here co-create, okay? If you want a family, you will have a family. If you want children, you will have children. If you want, like a lot of love in that sense, it is absolutely there. It's not too late. And I want to say that line again, okay? It's not too late, because I think a specific group of you needed to hear exactly that. And you felt it land in your chest when I said it. Some of you have been quietly grieving a timeline, okay? A version of your life you thought was supposed to have happened by now. And you'd started to believe the window had closed. And this card came out to tell you it hasn't, okay? Co-creation is the card of building something new with another person from scratch, together. And it does not arrive on anybody else's schedule. And I want to say something specific to the ones counting years, okay? Because I know some of you are doing the math right now in the back of your mind, measuring how much time you think you have left for the life you wanted. And I want you to put the math down for a second, okay? Because that particular arithmetic has never once been accurate. People meet the love of their life at every age there is. People start families on timelines that would have terrified their younger selves. And it works out beautifully anyway. The calendar in your head, okay, the one that says it was supposed to happen by now, you inherited that from somewhere. It was never a real deadline. It was just a story about when things are meant to happen. And stories can be wrong. This card is telling you yours was, okay, in the best possible way. We have here co-creation. This is going to be an unexpected relationship because it's one that is going to last for life. It is one that can allow you to have your own family. And it is one that is going to be for the long term, which is why it's unexpected, because it just comes together so beautifully. And I want to explain why the word co-create matters more than just family, okay? Because it's telling you something about the shape of this whole thing. You are not being handed a finished life to step into. You're being given a partner to build one with. And those are completely different, okay? Stepping into someone's finished life makes you a guest in it. Building one together makes you an equal in it. An equal is the only version that ever actually lasts. And I want to speak to the part of you that's a little scared of good news, okay? Because there's usually one in readings like this. Some of you have been disappointed enough times that hope itself now feels dangerous. Like letting yourself believe it is just setting up the next fall. And I understand that completely, okay? But I want you to notice something. The bird doesn't refuse to land on branches because one broke before. It still lands. It still rests. It simply carries the quiet knowledge that its wings work either way. That's the invitation here, okay? Not to protect yourself by expecting nothing, but to let yourself land fully, knowing you're safe now no matter what. And I want to prepare you for how this actually shows up, okay? Because the word unexpected keeps coming through, and I don't want you missing it while you wait for something dramatic. It's going to feel ordinary at first, okay? It might be someone you don't clock as significant right away, someone who arrives sideways into your life through a situation that has nothing to do with dating. And that's exactly why it works, okay? Because you won't have your guard up for it. You won't be performing. You'll just be yourself. And they'll fall for the real one instead of the version you show on purpose. And I want to name what your only actual job is here, okay? Because it's very small. Keep living your life. Keep saying yes to the ordinary things, the plans, the invitations, the rooms you almost don't bother going into, because unexpected things can only reach you if you're out where they can find you, okay? The hermit is preparing the meeting, but you have to actually be in the world for the meeting to happen. And before the final message, I want to leave a few things to actually hold on to, okay? The first, your past does not define you, loves. And this reading said it 3 separate times because you needed to hear it more than once. The people who left were describing themselves, not you. The way you were treated was never a verdict on your worth, and you get to stop reading it as one. The second, you are the bird now, not the branch. Your security stopped depending on anything staying and started living in your own wings. And the beautiful irony is that becoming unbreakable is the exact thing that finally lets you have something that lasts. The third, it is not too late. Whatever timeline you'd quietly given up on, the family, the partnership, the ordinary shared life, the co-create card came out specifically to reopen it. You didn't miss it. It was taking the long way to you. And I want to answer one more thing, okay? Why this reached you now with this much specific detail? Because you'd started to make peace with the wrong thing, not peace with your life, which is healthy, but peace with the idea that the love part was maybe just done for you. And it isn't, okay, and you were meant to be told that before you settled any deeper into believing it. I don't pull the Six of Wands, the Hermit, the Five of Wands, and a co-create card all agreeing this specifically by accident, and I wouldn't tell you it's on its way if the energy behind it wasn't this consistent. And I want to speak to the small doubting part of you for a second, okay? The one quietly thinking, but this kind of thing doesn't happen to me. That voice isn't wisdom, it's a scar. And scars are memory, not prophecy. Just for tonight, set it down. This is already clear, okay? The Six of Wands confirmed someone arriving with serious intent, already sure of you. The Hermit confirmed it's on its way, being prepared behind the scenes right now. The Five of Wands confirmed the old hurt, the abandonment, and confirmed it does not define you. And the co-create card confirmed a lifelong relationship, a family if you want one, and that it is genuinely not too late. So let me lay this all out one final time, okay, slowly, so it actually settles. There is a person coming into your life quickly, unexpectedly, someone you'll like, respect, and feel genuinely drawn to. They arrive already sure. They take action. They do things for you, to you, and with you, and they do not abandon. Because once they're in, you've been hurt before, but you've become the bird instead of the branch. And the strength you built is a blessing you'll get to keep and never have to use against this one. And it lasts, okay? A real lifelong co-created thing with a family in it, if that's what you want. One message. You became the bird that trusts its own wings. That's the exact moment love stopped being something you could lose. If this resonated, loves, let me know what hit hardest and claim it down below. I genuinely read every comment, okay? Even the ones I can't always reply to individually. Your story becomes part of the reason this reading keeps finding the next person who needs it too, like this reading. And make sure that you're subscribed, and I'll see you in the next one. Wherever you're watching this from, okay, I want you to actually feel this settle in before you go. You spent a long time being the one who poured everything in, okay? The one who tried harder, who gave more, who kept believing in people, who kept swinging out of their own fear and calling it your fault. And it would have been so easy to become hard after all of that, okay? To decide love wasn't for you, to stop landing on branches altogether. You didn't do that, okay? You healed instead, which is so much harder and so much braver. And that's the exact reason the next one is different. Because you're not arriving to it broken and hoping, you're arriving to it whole, with wings you trust, finally ready to land somewhere that holds. Take care of yourself. Bye, loves.